To be honest, I had been thinking the last couple months about whether or not I was going to make any more videos, just because I noticed that in the beginning of my channel, when I first started, pretty much everything was hauls and couponing, which is awesome, and I love making those videos, and I like watching those videos. But I noticed that when I started making videos about other topics that were not coupon related, my subscribers started dropping off. And no, you don't just make videos to get subscribers, but I was trying to help people with other things too, not just couponing, better living and home tips and things like that. So some videos might be coupon related and some might not, and I felt like when people were unsubscribing, maybe they weren't happy with the fact that it was not just a couponing channel. But then video ideas kept coming into my head, and I really felt compelled to share them, and like this one in particular, it's not really about couponing at all, but it's about how to start going organic and more clean eating and more natural eating. And no, I'm not the healthiest person in the world. I mean, I have probably 20 pounds, 25 pounds I should probably lose, and that's kind of a back and forth yo-yo thing that goes on with me. But more specifically, no matter what you eat, I want it to be healthier, not, more organic things, and particularly for my children, because obviously my health is important too, but when you have kids, you think a lot more about what you put in your body. And of course I pay more attention to what they eat than what I eat, which is not really the way it should be, I don't guess. But anyway, this is totally rambly, but my point in what I was trying to say earlier, it's not just a couponing channel, and I hope that's okay with you all, because there's more to having a good household and things like that than just couponing. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so obviously couponing is a big part of my life because we have to save as much as we can. We splurge on some things too, like our vacations. Like I said, we went to Disney World, but when we're home, I'm really conscious of saving as much money as I can, stockpiling, and even when we go to Disney, I make sure and wait until we get a package discount and a coupon and things like that, because you can use, coupons for Disney World too. I think the one they had for Christmas, we got free dining. The dining plan, if you know what the Disney dining plan is, basically you don't have to pay to eat unless you want to buy something extra that's not covered by the plan, but pretty much everything is. So, even then we did the best we could to save money on that. And I buy a lot of souvenirs before we leave the house, things for the girls to play with while we're on the way down to Disney World, because we drive now, which is about a 14-hour drive. So, I'll buy things all year long that I set back, knowing that we take a yearly trip to Disney and we drive, so they have to play with. I don't just, wait till the last minute and buy a bunch of stuff at full price. Same thing when we're down there. A lot of people sell glow sticks and stuff. We take our own glow sticks. I'm not going to say we don't buy things, because we do. But it helps, because that way they don't feel the need to want to have everything everybody else has. I want a glow stick. I want a glow mini ears. I want a magic wand, the things that spin, all that stuff. We take bubbles, which this is totally not on topic. Never mind. We do take bubbles, but that has nothing to do with this video. I'll get back to the point. This video is about how to start going organic. There's so much hype about organic, and you start to think it's kind of a marketing scheme, but it really is important, especially with more and more pesticides that are used. It's really important, I think, and for us it was important. So, but it's overwhelming, because you think you can't afford probably to go organic all at once, and it's overwhelming if you go into Whole Foods or Trader Joe's and you don't necessarily recognize packages because they look so much different than something you'd find at Kroger's or wherever you shop for your regular groceries. And it is overwhelming too, because you think, oh my goodness, how much is it going to cost? But honestly, it's really not a whole lot more if you do it the right way, and if you kind of break yourself in. You can't just go organic all at once. I mean, you can, but it would be very, very expensive and very overwhelming to try to do. So there's kind of a two-part way that we started, and this has been going on the last couple years. The first thing we did was I took two factors into consideration. Number one, the items that we ate that were the most volatile and full of pesticides, specifically produce and vegetables, things like that. That was the first place we started, and as well as at the same time as that, the things that we ate the most of, that you accumulate so much more exposure to pesticides because we ate so much of it, like peanut butter and jelly. We ate peanut butter like it's going out of style. I mean, my oldest daughter that's in school, she almost wants peanut butter and jelly every day she goes to school. So I think really we started with her peanut butter when she was in kindergarten. And I went through a couple different brands of organic peanut butter, and they were awful. I mean, they were expensive, and they separated really bad, like the oil and the peanut, like the thicker part, you had to stir it up, and it was so hard to spread. It was always tearing holes in the bread. We finally found, for us, the Simple Truth Organic is a Kroger brand, and it is more expensive. But what I have found with the organic peanut butter is it's so much more flavorful with the peanut flavor, because I don't know if there's less, I don't know why, but it is. So we actually use less per sandwich, just because if you put too much, it's way too peanut buttery. So in that case, it doesn't really cost a whole lot more, because we use less than we did of a typical non-organic peanut butter like Jif. But it is about $2 more per jar for organic peanut butter. And that's the most expensive thing I've found besides milk, compared to non-organic, whatever, the non-organic version. And then I mentioned also we started with the things that are known to be the most full of pesticides, which is produce. And it's called the Dirty Dozen. I've got a list here. The most dirty, or, full of pesticides, I can't think of the word, produce. Celery, peaches, strawberries, apples, blueberries, nectarines, sweet bell peppers, spinach, kale, and collard greens, cherries, potatoes, imported grapes, and lettuce. We ate a lot of, and we still do, potatoes. So I don't think carrots is not on that list, is it? It's not on, well, that's weird. I thought it was on there. But anyway, a bag of organic carrots is not any more expensive than a bag of non-organic carrots. The potatoes, there's hardly any difference. We don't really eat a lot of blueberries or anything like that. Apples and lettuce, specifically in the spring, we eat a lot more lettuce, spring and summer. So, that's an easy place to start, and it's not much more. You'll be surprised. Here where we live, a bunch of non-organic bananas is 69 cents a pound, and for a bunch of organic bananas, it's 79 cents a pound. So really, I mean, per bunch, maybe you're spending 30 or 40 cents more, but you know that they're organic and they're healthier. Then there's the Clean 15, which is the fruits and vegetables that they say are less likely to have pesticides. Onions, avocados, sweet corn, pineapples, mangoes, sweet peas, asparagus, sweet potatoes, kiwi, cabbage, eggplant, cantaloupe, watermelon, grapefruit, and sweet onions. We go ahead and get organic onions too, just because they're not really much more expensive than non-organic onions. And we really don't eat too much of those other things. Yeah, I mean, we don't eat eggplant or cabbage. They hate kiwi. We eat peas, but we usually get organic canned peas. So we just recently started with organic milk, and that is a little bit painful because it is very expensive. But it's really weird because we get skim milk. My husband grew up drinking like whole milk or 2% or whatever, and it is better, like tasting. But obviously it's got more fat content, so we usually drink skim milk, and we get Kroger brand. But honestly, the fat-free organic milk from Whole Foods, it's $5.19 a gallon here, which is very expensive, especially for us because we go through a gallon about every day and a half to 2 days. That's a lot of milk. But it's creamier than the Kroger skim milk, so it almost tastes kind of like a 1%, which is nice because there's no more fat, but it's creamier and better quality milk, and I like it. It is really expensive, and what I've noticed is we have made more of a conscious effort not to waste milk. You don't realize you're being wasteful anyway, but then now that I'm remembering, oh, this costs $5 a gallon, we pour less and then just go back and get more if we need it. Whereas before, we'd pour a whole glass, and then the girls would waste it. We'd put it in the refrigerator thinking, oh, we'll drink it later. But then once you put a glass of milk in the refrigerator, it tastes like everything else that's in the refrigerator. Nobody ever drank it, and it got wasted. So kind of like the peanut butter situation, we're more conscious of how much we're putting on. And so it kind of offsets a little bit of the cost because it is quite a bit. It's double what a regular gallon of non-organic milk was costing us at Kroger's to get. Orange juice, we started going organic with juices a long time ago, really when I found out about all of the arsenic that's supposed to be in apple juice, non-organic apple juice. Now, there is a difference between a chemical arsenic and a natural arsenic, but still, I mean, it's arsenic, and if I can make that small change, and my kids are drinking apple juice, if I can make that small change and make myself feel like it's better than better than drinking the arsenic levels that are in non-organic apple juice, it was a small step to make towards trying to be more conscious of what we put in our bodies and what my children are having in their bodies and all that. So that's kind of how we did things, and we've just gradually added to it as time has gone on. Now we're on to organic and non-GMO cereals. Pretty much, well, not just cereal, but I mean, that was the next thing we started with. We eat a lot of cereal. So the GMO thing, which is genetically modified, I can't remember what the O stands for. I'll put it in the down bar. I forgot. I can't think right now. And we're getting ready to, I'm in the car and I'm waiting to pick up my daughter, and we're getting ready to move. So I don't know. It's genetically modified. I don't know what the O stands for. Whatever. I'll put it in the bottom bar down below. But that's something else that you don't want in your food. It was in a lot of the things that we were eating, specifically Kraft macaroni and cheese, and Cheerios were two of the big ones that we were eating that has that in there. So we switched all of our cereals at once, which it is more expensive. A box of organic non-GMO cereal at Whole Foods for us costs $2.99 a box. That's not really any more than what a box of cereal would cost at Kroger's, like for Cinnamon Toast Crunch or whatever. But, you know, usually with things at Kroger's and Cinnamon Toast Crunch and General Mills and all those different cereals, there's a lot more coupons available, so it's easier to get a good deal on those. So it is a little bit more money to use, you know, to get the cereal at Whole Foods, but I feel like it's worth it. And we found one we really like. It's really good. It's called Leap and Lemurs, and it's chocolate and peanut butter puffballs cereal, and they like it dry and with milk. So it's really nice to take dry as a snack in the car, and then in the mornings with milk. There's also Panda Puffs, which are kind of equivalent to kind of like a Kix, because they're corn. They're little corn puffs. And then there's Amazon Frosted Flakes, which has got a little bluebird on the front, and it's just like Frosted Flakes. It's not quite as sweet as Frosted Flakes is. I guess it's kind of a cross between Frosted Flakes and Corn Flakes. It's not as bland as Corn Flakes though. And we really like those three, and they are $2.99 a box. And Whole Foods is really good, and this is another thing. I'm trying to get this out quickly. Whole Foods is really good about giving you a whole box of something. I didn't know they did this. Maybe you all knew this and I didn't know. When I first started shopping there, I was really hesitant to try things because I thought they were so expensive, and you're like, "Ugh, they're not going to taste good," because, that was a lovely face, because they're organic or because they're different. And, you know, you don't want to spend all that money and then hate it. Nobody wants to eat it. They have given me so many boxes of things for free to try. Boxes of cereal, different little snacks. They even gave me a whole case of the organic milk pouches, like to take with you in your lunch or whatever, which is another thing we do for my daughter. We do buy those organic milk pouches. They're about this big. But they'll give you something to try. They just put they carry stickers around in their aprons, and then if you ask somebody to help you, I mean, I don't really come right out and say, is it free? But when I ask them questions about it, they have volunteered to give it to me for free to try. And that's been really nice, because it is expensive, you know, and daunting to try to think of all the things you want to buy organic and not know if you're going to like it or if your family's going to like it. So when they do that for you, it really does help. So that's why I have really stuck to shopping with them. I don't know if Trader Joe's does that. We just got a Trader Joe's here about 8 months ago, maybe a year, and I have not been there yet. I want to go. I haven't been there yet. But so maybe they do that too. And you all can let me know in the comments below if they do, if you know. But I hope this wasn't really rushed. I feel really rushed because I am waiting in line to pick her up from school, and so I have to try to get all this out really quickly. And usually I have notes kind of in my mind or typed up of what I want to say. I don't really have any notes either. So I hope it makes sense, and I hope it's helpful. Let me know what you all have done if you're going organic, and what you did to try to, you know, go into the process of it, what you started with. And let me know if you have any questions, and I'll help you any way I can. And I will try to remember to put the GMO information down below. Because that is definitely something you do not want in your food. And somebody even said Kraft macaroni and cheese, when they sell it overseas, in England, was the lady, she lived in England, she took a picture of it. They have it in their world food section, which is funny to me to think that American food is in a world food section somewhere else. But it has a warning label on it that even says, you know, there's GMOs in this product and has been known to cause, you know, this and this and this. They have to put a warning label on it in England, but in America, apparently, you know, they don't care. I don't know. Well, I don't know if it's they don't care, but so much more stuff gets by here than it does in other countries, and I think that's pretty shameful. Cheerios just now announced, I think it was last week, they're going to reformulate their Cheerios to not include GMOs, which, duh, I mean, why does it take everybody boycotting Cheerios or whatever and starting all these campaigns to get the GMOs out of food before they will actually do the right thing to begin with? You know, I don't understand why they do that. They were comparing the label of Cheerios ingredients, you know, 20, 30 years ago versus the label now. There's twice as many ingredients now in Cheerios than there was back, you know, in the 40s and 50s. But they still marketed, it's your grandfather's Cheerios or your grandparents' Cheerios or whatever. No, it's not, because I'm pretty sure that my grandparents' Cheerios did not have GMOs in them. I don't know, maybe they did, but it just seems like they add so much more stuff now to make things last longer, and it's not good to put in your body. So I'm rambling again. I will shut up. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.